What's up, guys? This is 410 AUTOMOTIVE. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I graduated UTI. That's what the video is going to be about. I'm going to tell you some pros and some cons about attending UTI. I wish that when I was looking for schools, there was more videos out there on YouTube or just out there in general before I decided. So we're going to hop into the video and let's go. So first of all, I'd like to start off. When I graduated high school, or right before I graduated high school back in 2010, my school promoted two schools, Lincoln Tech and, of course, UTI back in high school. So after hearing some pros, and I've heard, of course, at the time, heard nothing but good things about UTI. Wasn't at that point, YouTube wasn't, I guess, as big as it is now. So, I mean, I could have done a little bit more research on my own, and I probably should have to know. Well, as you can see, I picked UTI from everything that they had to say, all the good things they had to say about UTI. Of course, I don't know if they got a kickback out of it or not, but that's what I chose, and I went there. So I started, so I picked UTI and found out, it was roughly around the 30K mark for a one-year program, just for the general automotive classes. Of course, they had other things like what's it called, diesel. You can add it on, Ford Fact, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the other stuff later on. So 30K, not that expensive, right? Well, yeah, it is. But luckily, through some grants and financial aid, I knocked it down to $18,000. So, like I said, not great, but not terrible. So, pro is able to find some, some help for school. Con, in debt for a little bit. What could go wrong, right? So like I said, the pro is that you could, taking a school loan out for school, any kind of school, any automotive program, is that you could pay it back later. The con is you're going to be in some debt for a little bit, but there's other videos out there that can help you manage some student loan debt out there. So after that, I finally figured out how I was going to pay for school, and I was like, well, good thing out of it, I'll graduate in the year. That's a pro. Done 52, 53 weeks, boom, back home, or stay there and learn and work at whatever I want or wherever I can. Con is, how much can you really learn in 1 year of schooling? So there's some people out there can learn a vast amount of knowledge in one entire year. Like I said, some people pick up a wrench and they're just fantastic at it. So you can learn a lot as much as you are able to in a year. So after deciding there, I was about to head to UTI, but ran into a friend. Got to talking. He told me he was starting UTI, and I was like, oh snap, me too. And then after that, we started hanging out a little bit more again, and then we decided to. He changed his. I think he was supposed to start a week before me or a week after me, or like the schedule. And then we decided, we'll stick it together. We'll move up there. So we moved up to PA right before school started. And one of the pros is that, when you move up there, and that UTI does, is they sort of help you find a room, like a place to stay. But you still have to do, all the legwork just in life. You got to do all the legwork. So you can take that as a con. They don't just say, hey, here you go. Here's your board and room or whatever. Now you got to go out there. You got to put the applications into, your housing situation and all that. So thank God I had him. Sad part is we kind of procrastinated, our own fault. So we had to move into an extended stay of America for about 2 months. But they gave us the UTI discount. Pro, con, it's literally a studio apartment with 2 of us living in there. It was nice to have, but it was, confined into just a small area, which, kind of sucks. So a good thing is, I had him to help me out when I was short on some months, and I helped him out when I was short on some months. Kind of, not being able to put that what's it called, housing into, you know, your school, it kind of sucks because you have to pay every month, and, you know, depending on where you live, depending on how many roommates you wanted to have. I knew some people had like five. At one point, we finally moved in with a group of guys, and we had about 5 roommates. So I think it was around, I want to say $1,000. We ended up paying like between 200 and 250, maybe around there, because we had, you know, cable and internet and such things. So that could be a pro, having multiple roommates. Con is, like I said, you know, now you have to share a living. It was a 2-bedroom, splitting that between, you know, 5 people could be a lot. So in order to pay rent, you know, you find a job. We were lucky, you know, UTI does help. They have flyers hanging all over all over the walls and stuff like that, telling you all the places that are hiring, and, you know, they do hire UTI students. So pro is that they help you find, they help you like in search finding schools that are hiring students, and are able to, you know, work with your schedule at the same time. Con, there's a lot of UTI students and a lot of shops, a lot more students compared to shops. So it's kind of hard to get yourself into the door into a shop and working around your schedule, depending on, you know, your situation in school. So it could be a lot harder. So so I ended up finding a job at Target, and my best friend did too at the time, Mike. And it was pro because, you know, we worked together and everything. We were able to, you know, if we wanted a day off, I'd switch with him or he'd switch with me, pick up shifts, and we met a lot of people there that were, you know, always helpful for us in our situations and stuff like that. Con is, you know, you're at Target, we were making $8.25 to survive, pay bills, pay rent, of course food, gas, and everything else, and, you know, just living. Other than that, like if you want to do stuff after that. So that could be a con if you're only making $8.25 while you're in school. And there's a lot of students out there that do struggle, and that they don't always have, you know, if you're younger and you might have your parents helping you out. I was lucky enough that my mom actually helped me out just a little bit, which did help. Not, you know, not anything dramatic where I was like kicked back and, you know, just didn't have to work at all. I had to work 6 days a week, 40 hours while in school. It sucked. It was terrible. I drove a 96 Blazer. It sucked in gas, so that was terrible. So after all that was done, finding housing, finding you know, a job, it was time to start school. The good thing is they give you 2 schedules. You have an AM schedule and you have a PM schedule. The AM schedule, I started school at 6:30. And we ended class about 12:50. The night schedule, I think, night classes started, I think, around 1:30 to whenever. I don't really fully surely know about the night schedule. Pros, depending if you're an early bird, depending, you know, if you're an early bird that you like the morning schedule. I wasn't an early bird person, but, you know, due to the fact that I had to work, I had to pick, you know, chose to pick mornings, so I was able to work after school. And, you know, another pro is having, you know, morning classes. You have the rest of the day, if you're not working, to hang out with, you know, your roommates, your friends, you know, start networking with other people, doing whatever you like. You know, it depends on your entire situation. You are pretty much living the college lifestyle. You're broke, you're hungry, and, you know, at least you got some friends that you meet along your journey through school that you can kick it with, talk cars, help each other working out on each other's cars and stuff like that. And then at the same time, you know, like I said, networking. Networking is awesome because, you know, if you're really good friends with someone, they can help you. If they are in the field, like in a job placement of, like, just say a mom and pop store or somewhere else where they are looking for someone, you know, at least you have. And they are willing to help you out to get yourself into that door. You know, put yourself out there, because then, you know, networking can help you find jobs that you weren't going to be like the primary top guy for that position. But, you know, if he sticks his neck out there for you, you know, and you get the job, work hard, because that's his name on the line at the same time, but at your name on the line for your next, you know, putting that on your resume. Alright, so now we're going to talk about, you know, you start classes every 3 weeks, and classes, range from, every aspect of that automotive industry. You have your basic intro, like pretty much intro to automotive. You have undercarriage, teaches you all your suspension, manual transmissions, automatic transmissions, advanced diagnostics, and all that stuff. So pro is too about having every 3 weeks of a new class is, having a new instructor, learning in a different way through all the brilliant UTI teachers that they do have there. So you get to meet new people, new instructors every 3 weeks. Keeps you fresh and all that stuff about learning. You're not kind of stuck on the same schedule, same like just same subject. Which could be a bummer depending on how you learn. But a big flaw to that is it's a lot to learn one subject in 3 weeks and then changing that every single 3 weeks. It's just a lot to learn. You just got school 5 days a week, but depending on your situation, you have to work. So those 3 weeks, you really have to pay attention. So it's up to you to, pay attention. It's your education that you have to put that effort to, keep your mind sharp and try to. There's going to be people in your class, if you go to that class school, people in your class that are going to, immaturity level. You got some people that are up there, and then you got people that are, still playing games. It's your future if you're going to stick it out in this automotive business and learn as much as you can, and before you start to turn a wrench in any shop, fleet, mom and pop shop, dealership, tuning, whatever. It does not matter. So every 3 weeks, it could be a pro, could be a con. It's all up to you on how you learn. It's your education. I did like it, but at the same time, for me, it was kind of hard to learn every subject in only 3 weeks. And then, you have your final, and depending, I wasn't the best at, doing tests, writing, just doing any kind of testing, handwritten. I'm better at visualizing and learning, and I wish they would have had maybe more hands-on testing, and I would have did a little bit more better, in my academic aspect of that. But I do learn at the same time by reading and then trying to apply that. Some classes you do get to learn and then apply that, but like I said, there's a lot of students there, and they try to do the best that they can. So a very good pro of attending UTI is, that it's a top-of-the-line facility. And I know there's some other schools out there that have some top-of-the-line facilities, but, they all their equipment's brand new. I mean, when I went there, it was always brand new. They all had, various amounts of cars, full cars, they have the half cars and stuff like that. Top-of-the-line, they always used Snap-on, which, take it how you want it. Some people love Snap-on, some people hate it, some people are in the middle, but they use nothing but Snap-on for, while you're working, and everything was always organized, clean. When I was in class, not too many times that they were missing tools, but if they were missing tools, they would get it replaced. And, facility is a very large facility, and, they had, classrooms, they had, shops, and they had, all your necessities at a campus to learn. So that's a pro. They had so many places where you were able to, like, you were also able to work on your car at a time, depending on what class you were at. At that time, you were able to bring in your vehicle. They could help, sometimes diagnose your vehicle, or you can do, alignments, or you can do brakes in school, which is awesome. And I know that other automotive schools do that at the same time. So, you have to, like, do multiple research when you're trying to pick a school. And, they just didn't just stick to one brand. If you are really interested in the independent, field, they had, they had vehicles throughout, every kind of brand: GM, Ford, Chrysler, Toyota, Audi's. They had pretty much all makes and brands there that you could. But one of the biggest cons is, depending on what brand if you just want to be brand specific, at that campus they only offered, the Gen Ed. they offered Ford Fact, which was just strictly Fords, and they have an awesome electrical program in that Ford Fact class that I heard from other students when I attended, and I really was interested in it, but I didn't really want to add that on to my school because I didn't want to stay there that much longer. But they also offered TPAT, which is Toyota specific brand schooling, and as you can tell at the end, you already know the story. I'm a GM guy. I love GM. I love working on them. So that could be a con if, so just do your research and find out if you just want to be independent or you're strongly, want to be a brand specialist in whatever you want to do, and find a school that could suit your needs at the same time. But if you're, in just the overall automotive, interest, just working on every brand, maker, models, or just trying to get your foot and learning how to work on cars and going into the fleet business, then maybe, like I said, UTI could be good for you because you're working on so many different things. And then they also have that diesel classes, so that could be a good thing for you if you're into maintenance and working on diesels, or you're just going to strictly stay into the diesel business. So near the end of your schooling, you get to pretty much dabble a little bit into the tuning aspect of vehicles and engine building and modifications. So you get to, we learned the Honda to learn a little bit, just a little bit, to tune using Honda, and also you learn how to tune using Ford SCT. And then that was a separate class. That was just pretty much kind of like tuning and all that stuff, and you got to apply that a little bit when you did, I think, a power and performance class, and you get to do, build a T-bucket from pretty much just put the motor together, spec it all out. You get to dyno that, and then after that you get to dyno it after you add nitrous to it, and you get to actually, do the pulls while you're driving it, which is awesome. It's fun and all. That's a good pro to, just to be able to dabble in that a little bit if you're not into the field, which, like I said, now that could be a con because I don't get to do that now. I've never had to tune. I don't know, maybe in the future I will have to, but right now, no, I don't do any tuning at the dealership level, and we don't add on nitrous kits and stuff like that. Certain packages we are able to add on performance parts, so that kind of could help you out a little bit. But not depending on your situation, you're not going to do that jumping out of school. There's other schools out there that could also be a benefit to you if you're just wanting to do, tuning and modding and all that other stuff. So just continue to do your research on depending on how you want to, step into the automotive field. Another pro towards the end was that, that they get you tied with a snap-on rep, and pretty much you get to pick out the entire pamphlet on all the tools that if you would like to purchase through Snap-on, and everything is pretty much 50-60% off, and you get top-of-the-line tools at a very much school discounted rate, which I did, but now con could be now you're in debt. You don't know too much. You don't exactly know what you need to buy out there, and what tools to start off. If you're just, you're going to be probably going to start out in an entry-level position. You don't know what tools you need to buy. So I'll probably put a link up in the description. I know Captain Ron has an intro to automotive class, series going on YouTube. So you can take a look at that if you're also interested a little bit more into what it takes through schooling, because he's actually still in school. He's almost out, but I'll throw a link up there, and he has kind of some tools out there. Maybe I'll make a video at the same time what tools you should buy to help you buy, in your automotive journey. Like I said, the con, now you're in tons of debt depending on how much you buy. So just, try to learn exactly what you need. You're never going to buy exactly everything that you need. There's always going to be weekly things that you're going to have to buy after you graduate. But like I said, you get everything way cheaper. Try to learn everything you can that you will have to buy. All the big expensive stuff. Like if I would have done it again, I probably would have bought a lot more at a discounted rate, and I would have been a lot better off starting off. I want to say another con to that is that I wish they would have told you that, the moment you started school, you could have used the program, and, it would have been able to, build my tool collection a little bit faster, and I would have probably had it paid off a lot sooner. And another con is that at the time that I was in school, they only offered Snap-on. I wish they would have offered Matco, Mac, SK. I wish they even would have done some stuff with, Craftsman, even Harbor Freight. I mean, Harbor Freight's already cheap enough, but, and Gear Wrench is a big thing. I love Gear Wrench. And there's so many other, Milwaukee wasn't as big in the automotive field just yet, but stuff like that. Instead of just having one thing that they promoted, I wish it would have been a lot more, a wide variety to help you out. So you're not just stuck to one specific brand of tools that you're only able to get a discount. But the good thing is that you're able, even if you don't have that much credit, they give you the opportunity to start your credit line with them, knowing that you are a student and you pretty much just started loans. So that can help you, depending, and then if you're only able to buy, pay weekly or monthly and stuff like that, and instead of buying in bulk, because, tools are expensive in this field. You need thousands and thousands of dollars of tools. Towards the end of school, the good thing is that, they do give you a graduation, a whole ceremony. If you're into stuff like that, you do get a certificate, but it's just a certificate. I know there's other schools out there that do promote you doing your basic English, math, and all that, and you get a associates, and you can also tag along other classes at the same time as you want, and have a degree in automotive and a degree, at least a basic degree in another item, so another field. Which depending on how your situation is, you might start school and you might love you love it, and then you get into the field and then you find out it's not for you. So it could be a con that now you went to school, you're in debt, and you only have certificate, and the certificate is not really a big thing that can help you get into the field at the same time. It can and it can't, depending on your situation, on the person that's going to hire you. But upon your graduation, a pro thing is that they help you set your resume. If you're not good at building your resume skills up, they will help you there. And that's one of the big things that helped me out finding a job, was that they helped me build my resume. Like I said, I worked at Target. I had a previous job before that, and they helped me make it all pretty much all nice and fancy. And from there, it's going to help you with your interviews in the future when you're going to apply to jobs out there. So another thing that's a pro is, once you get closer to graduation, and depending on if you have 100% in pretty much all your classes, and you have 100% in your attendance, and each class they gave like a silver star to like the most, I guess, if you take it two ways, most like the best student in that class for that class, or the guy that's the smartest, but he may not know how to fix cars, but he knows how to do book work. At the end, they are able to set you up with more further schooling. Like if you want, like I said, brand specific, they can send you off to help you send you off to like the BMW program, mini step program, Mercedes, Porsche. Maybe now they have Tesla. I'm not too sure. That's something you want to find out. But con is now you're extending your schooling, depending on if you're able to get grants and stuff. Now you have more debt that you just added on to your school, so that could be a con for you. Now you took that 30K ish. Now you can either double it for adding more school. Now you're in debt further. It's all up to you. Just do your research out there. So another pro upon graduating, other than getting your certificate, walking across stage, is I got to move back home. Pretty much the rest is history. If you guys already been following me, you guys know I am at a dealership. I've been there now for about 7.5 years. But maybe if you want to know steps on how to take an interview and stuff like that to help you along, and how I transitioned from school to a technician now, I can make a video of that as well. So my overall experience at UTI at the Exton, Pennsylvania location, I did enjoy my my experience. They had some awesome instructors that the instructors would go above and beyond to help you learn and give you everything that you need to be able to try to retain the information. But another thing is, if I didn't have to worry about paying rent and all that stuff, that's including that. But it's things that you have to do in life, of course. I know you're gonna be out there. People are down there are gonna be like, "Well, you got to grow up." But yeah, but if you don't have to worry about paying rent at that very moment, and having to work a full-time job, you could potentially put more of a mental focus and effort into learning as much as you can, like I said, in those every 3 weeks changing subjects. But instructors were good. The equipment was always good for me to learn. Experience overall, like I said, instructors were great and all that. Just wish I could been able to put forward more of an effort to learn. But like I said, that's why I made this video, to help you along your journey if you're thinking about going to school. So this could apply to any school out there, not just UTI. So like I said, campus is great, instructors are great, awesome students. I got to network. A lot of them that I still talk to now, friends through Facebook, Instagram. Some just I still talk to from now and then, which is an awesome thing. Another thing is that, I know that a lot of the students that I did go to school with are not in the automotive business now. So you can spend a lot of money going to school and going to UTI, but then find out that it may not be for you at the very end, or while you're transitioning to trying to be a technician, you end up finding that it is not for you. So it could be, a bummer that you spend all that money to go to school, but that's in any education that you're trying to pursue, that you could do all that, pay through all that stuff, and then find out, what, this is not for me. But if you like working on cars and learning, this could be for you, and UTI could be a school for you. But would I recommend it to another person that's looking to get into this field? There's a couple things that I would say yes to about recommending it to another person out there. You get to work on every make, brand, model out there. Not a lot of the high-end stuff, but a lot of just basic, all your brands that you can get, that they provide to learn. And then if you're pretty good at catching and learning things quickly and changing schedules every 3 weeks, it could be good for you. And a good thing is, they're kind of a flex schedule. You got morning and night classes. That may be beneficial and something that you're looking into, about taking morning classes or night classes while you're trying to find a school to work around your schedule, and a job to work around your schedule at the same time. And also, if you are looking into maybe NASCAR, I know they have a NASCAR division out there, I think down in North Carolina. So that's something you want to do. That's a positive thing about UTI. They have that. And they also do have, it's called MMI, which is Motorcycle Marine Institute. Working on motorcycles, boats, all sizes and stuff. It could be a good thing if you're looking into getting into that as well. But on the other hand is, if you are trying to be just brand specific, there's some schools out that are pretty much just brand specific. You have Mopar, that some schools out there are just focused on Mopar, and then you have Ford, I think as well, but GM, and there's some Nissan schools out there that they just focus on that brand. And at the same time, some schools do offer, like I said, associate's degrees, and that's another thing you have under your belt. You have just upon your automotive degree, you can have a degree in another field, which is an awesome thing. So that could be maybe something that will say, hey, I don't want to work on Mercedes and all that stuff. I want to work on Nissan, a GM, Mopar, and you're into those brands, so that just do more research and find the school that's right for you. And there's some schools out there that are cost way less out there. Just pay attention. There's your community college that do offer those brand specific schools. I know that I think GM ASEP program offers, like, I'm not 100% accurate on the pricing. Probably, like I've just been told, ranges between $12,000 and $15,000 for the whole entire 2 years, and that's a lot less than what I paid for a UTI. So I wish that someone out there would have been like, hey, if you're looking into this, check out these schools, check out the community college that do offer those programs. And they also do, I think they also do, some schools do offer just basic automotive classes, and that smaller classes and cheaper and more financially, you don't have that burden on you that can help you, along your journey. Which, like I said, nothing to UTI, they have their name and stuff like that, and you have to pay the price to go to that school, and it can be expensive. It may not fit in your budget, so that could be a thing I would tell people out there about maybe not attending UTI due to the price. If you can't afford that, just don't try to do that and put yourself into a huge amount of debt, unless, knowing that you may not be able to get yourself out of. Alright guys, well there you guys have it. Thank you guys for watching. My pretty much pros and cons about attending UTI. I hope you guys liked it. So let me know down below in the comment section what school did you guys attend, how much did you, roughly how much did you guys pay for school, did you have any help with loans, grants, if you had to venture off to another state possibly, or did you just jump right into the field? So if you attended UTI, WyoTech, Lincoln Tech, community college, whatever kind of school, just let me know down there below. Tell me what you thought about the video as well. This video could have gone pretty much for hours and hours, but trying to give you, at least help you guys out, so you guys have the information before you just start picking schools just because you see all the fancy commercials. That's what I'm here for, to help you guys get a little bit more information out there, and there's plenty of other guys as well. So, but thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well. Thank you guys for watching. This is 410 AutoTech out.